Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to chat to you about this awesome cool book called The China Study. Let's get into that. So I obviously won't be able to, read the whole book to you. It'll just take too long and you'll probably fall asleep because I have an accent and I don't know, you might not be able to understand how I say everything. But anyway, we can go into a couple of interesting facts and I don't know, just some things that I found interesting, and you can see if you want to buy it, and you can research it a bit further, go to your library, find a free copy and whatever. So basically the book is called The China Study and it's by Dr. T. Colin Campbell, and it basically talks about, it has 4 chapters, and it's the China Study, diseases of affluence, good nutrition guide, and why haven't you heard this before? And through the whole book, Dr. T. Colin Campbell pretty much goes over all these different issues, different studies that he's been part of, this actual study, the China Study that he was part of. He also talks about his history, just everything over the years that he has learned and put together in a book. And I thought that it was interesting. So the first thing that he talks about, one of the first things, is when he was working, he was leaving MIT and taking a position at Virginia Tech. And what they were working on is they were working on helping Filipino children to fight malnutrition. And basically what they found, their focus was to make sure that they get enough protein, because back then, even now, it was like this big thing and everyone needed to get all this protein, otherwise there'll be a malnutrition and blah blah blah. And they helped establish 110 self-help educational centers about nutrition through the country of Philippines and stuff like that. So anyway, after some period of time of him researching the subject, he found that children who ate the highest protein diets were the ones most likely to get liver cancer. And basically for Philippines, it meant kids of the wealthier families who ate more animal protein and more meat were prone to get more liver cancer. And we do talk about it a lot, don't we? And I think he tried to bring it to attention. I've read this book a little while ago, so I don't remember it word for word. But basically, try to bring it to the attention, and people who are funding the project were from the industry, meat and dairy industry, and they didn't want something like that to be poured out. So that kind of got hidden, and he left that place. And what does it say, people? And then there was another study that he did. New York, was called Grand Prix of Epidemiology, and was done by Chinese Academy of Preventive Medicine. And it was pretty much 8,000 people, statistically. So that's the China Study, and there was 8,000 people, and what they did is they looked at the different diets, where they lived, just how big, just lots and lots of different things like that. They looked at comparing males to females, the genetics, what they ate, if they're from a big city or from a little country, farm town. And pretty much what they found is people who ate the most animal-based foods got the most chronic diseases. People who ate the most plant-based foods were the healthiest and tend to avoid chronic diseases. And hey, we know this. So many studies come out talking about this and telling us about this. It's not a new information. And really, it was research shown that various cancers, autoimmune disease, bone health, kidney health, vision, brain disorders, and old age are conveniently influenced by the diet. And I mean, we don't get born with these diets. Maybe we have some sort of genes or whatever that make us prone to them. But like, cancer is not natural. We earn it through our life. And it occurs in our life 3 times during our lifetime. And like, everybody on average gets cancer 3 times in their lifetime, during their lifetime. And it depends on what position your body is in, like how health is, how good your immune system is, how, you know, well rested you are, and just like general health and well-being. Dependent on that, it will either develop and grow into something bigger, or, you know, your body will fight it, basically. So he has this cool little chart right there, and it is basically leading causes of death. And I think it's interesting that he talks about, so this is like an average data. It's all cited, like you can kind of go through it. This is on page number 16, so if you want to go and find that. So basically leading causes of death: diseases of the heart. This is average per year in America, so it's like 710,000. Cancer is 550,000. Medical care is 220,000. So I thought that was really interesting. And what do we include by medical care is medical error, unnecessary surgery, other preventable errors in hospital-borne infections, and adverse drug effects. And there's just all it's cited, and all the information is just there. But basically, and you know what, you might be surprised that you go to the hospital and there's all this data that things go wrong in the hospital. And I experienced it in my family. I had my granddad who was allergic to one of the medicines. I don't remember which one it is, but basically he has it written in his documents and stuff. And if he has that medicine, it kind of basically makes his body go into shock, and he's got the allergy, and basically it makes him have heart attack or stroke, one or the other. But basically he's been to the hospital a few times because of other issues, and twice the nurse gave him that medicine. It was like Panadol or something, like just something like generic, but I don't remember all the proper wording for it, and because it's all in Russian, because he's Russian and he obviously lives in Russia. But so I don't know like word for word translation, but that's ridiculous that you go to hospitals and you think they're there to cure you, and you hope that they will make you feel better and they help you. And of course, if you've broken an arm, it's legit reason to go to the hospital and like let them help you in that regard. But there's so many errors that doctors make, and in reality, not all doctors are there for a good cause, and you can't really trust all of them. They're not there to help you get better. Sometimes they're there to make money by selling you prescription drugs. But I thought that was quite interesting. There's like 220,000 people every year die because of medical errors. And it's just like, really, do you want to put your life in danger and give it to, you know, some doctor to look after? Or do you want to take control of your life and realize that it's no one's responsibility? No one is coming for the rescue. No one is going to come and freaking help you get better if you're not going to help yourself, if you're not going to decide and make a decision from today onwards that you are going to do something different, and you're going to do something about your health and your well-being, and you understand that it is your responsibility. It's no one else's. Man, I can rant on this all day. But okay, so like I said, this video is already crazy long. I won't go into whole of the study, but it is pretty interesting, and maybe I'll just talk about this. I'll talk about a couple more things. So he averaged out the Chinese and American dietary intakes, and you can just kind of see it there. So basically it talks about the average calories that they take, and you can pause the video like backwards it and kind of read the table for yourself if you want. But basically it talks about the calorific intake for China versus America. and how we know that this world is crazily obsessed with cutting down on calories and freaking starving themselves for some stupid, ridiculous reason. In China, average calorie per day intake is 2,600, so 2,500. And in the United States, it's under 2,000. And what is interesting is total fat percentage in China, it was 14%, when in the United States, averaged out to about 34 to 38%. So obviously you can see that in America, they're eating a lot more fat. Again, the dietary fiber in China is 33, when in America it's 12. So obviously that makes sense. If in China they're eating more vegetables and fruits, they'll be eating more fiber. And total proteins in the United States are higher. Animal protein is 10 to 11% of daily intake, and in China it was 0.8, so it's under 1%. So obviously on average, not many people have it at all. And by eating more plant-based products, Chinese also managed to have more iron in their diet, which doesn't surprise me whatsoever. So things like that, it's just interesting how so many different doctors talk about it, so many different researchers talk about that. It's not the amount of calories that you eat, it is where those calories come from. And sure, you can go on and say, but what if you had 10,000 calories, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, I get it. It's but you won't be able to eat 10,000 calories. Seriously, try eating 10,000 calories worth of bananas. I dare ya. It's just freaking... It would be insane. I don't know if I'd even be able to eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories worth of bananas. It's a lot of bananas. You'll have to eat some processed crap. And, even vegan processed food is not really the best food, which is why I subscribe to a whole foods, plant-based, obviously, vegan diet, which is high in carbohydrate and low in fats, and that is what I strive for. I don't succeed in it 100% every single day. Sometimes I have things that are processed. I have muesli bars or, this and that. Sometimes you have wraps, a little bit of bread here and there. But most of the time, is what I strive for. And I actually love raw tofu because it makes sure that I eat a lot of raw foods through the day, and I think it's great. And okay, we'll finish you with this. But see, seriously, only went in this much, and this book is huge, and there's so much information here. But it looks at total fat intake versus breast cancer, and you can basically see here, and there's two graphs here, right? So this one is total intake period, and this one total animal intake, and these are just all the different countries. And at the bottom here, animal fat percent, and on the side here is just the age adjusted death rate per 100,000 people. So basically we can see which are the highest countries: New Zealand, Denmark, UK, Canada, Australia. See, all these countries where US obviously as well, UK, Sweden, Norway, all these countries where meat consumption is crazily pushed through the roof. And if we look at the countries that are on the lower end, it is the Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, Greece, Cambodia, Spain, Thailand, El Salvador. So all these countries where actually meat consumption is not so crazily pushed onto people. And if we go in and look, and so that was animal fat intake, and this is the plant-based intake. And if we look at this statistics, and this is basically the same, you have the percent of fat intake versus the age and adjusted for 100,000 people. And here you can see there's not even any kind of special trend, really, which really just shows that consumption of animal protein and fat that comes from animal protein is what is one of the big causes of cancer. And I was going to read out a lot more on protein, but I guess I'll just make another video about it because this video is getting too long. So thanks for watching. I love hearing your thoughts and having you on my channel. I appreciate every single one of your views, every single one of your comments. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing, talking to me and talking to others, sharing this positive, vibrant message of cruelty-free life where you can actually thrive and get it done. do whatever it is you need to do in this world. Thanks for being with me, and have an awesome day, you guys. Bye.